Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with an Abyssal Demon Slayer guide for old school RuneScape in my endless adventure to make as many Slayer guides as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to leave a like, and on top of that, if you'd like to support me, there are plenty of links down below where you can check me out at other platforms. Would appreciate it greatly. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the guide. So to start, should you kill Abyssal Demons? In my opinion, you should, because they are profitable. You can get whips on the task, which are worth a couple mil, so those are very nice whenever you can manage to find one. And on top of that, they are good XP, so in my opinion, no real reason to skip them. If you don't like extremely long tasks, then maybe you're not a fan, but I still think they're worth it for most everyone to do. The only requirement you're going to need is 85 Slayer. Other than that, I mean, good melees would be nice, but by the time you have 85 Slayer, I'm assuming you have that. As far as what you can expect from the Abyssal Demons, they are essentially weak to everything, so you can use whatever you'd like. Their attack style is going to be melee based, so we'll need to prepare accordingly, and their max hit is an 8, which actually isn't that high for a Slayer monster. I mean, Greater Demons, I think, might even be higher than that. For loot that you could possibly expect to find, a couple different clue scrolls. A hard clue is a 1 in 128, and an elite clue is a 1 in 1.2k. The Abyssal Whip, as I mentioned earlier, 2 to 3 mil in price, is a 1 in 512 drop rate, so you'll get that about once every 2 or 3 tasks. And there's an Abyssal Dagger also on the table at a 1 in 32,000 chance, so probably won't be seeing any of those, but if you do, you'll be lucky enough to snag yourself. I think they're like 4 mil now. And the overall GP per kill that you can expect from Abyssal Demons is about 4.5k. You can make more if you pick up everything, but I'm assuming no one's doing that. For the melee gear, here down below are some melee-based options where you will be protecting melee. I like protecting melee because I like making these an AFK-able task, and in the Catacombs, you can just go around and attack a bunch of them and just kind of AFK. So personally, I think it's worthwhile to do that. If you're trying to save some money and not use prayer, you can do that, and we'll talk more about that. But these setups down below are kind of what you'll expect to bring here. Just some melee DPS upgrades. This pretty much covers everything from the entry-level people getting here to the end game people that are going to be killing these. As far as the weapons, you can use essentially whatever you want. The Arclight is going to be the best. However, I don't put it on all these setups because there's so many different places you can use an Arclight at this point in the game that I just think most people aren't going to use it all the time. You just physically can't. There's not enough shards to go around. So if you'd like, feel free, but other than that, you can use whatever you want. They are equally susceptible to every form of attack. And finally, if you don't have any of these armors somehow at this point in the game, I guess you could use Monk's Robes, but for the love of God, just do some quests, like, give me a break. And then along with that, there are some tank gear options that you can bring if you'd like. Fighter Torso and D Plate Legs probably be for the lower level people, and then you have Barrows and Bandos as well if you'd like to add that. I guess you could also bring just a Shar if you'd want, but I think Bandos would be perfectly fine and also offer some attacking bonus, so that's good. Then also I will add a mage gear section, so these are a couple different setups that you could bring, one a little lower, one pretty high level. You could use Ice Burst or Ice Barrage if you're up for that. Personally, I don't like bursting or barraging these because Abyssal Demons kind of teleport you around as their special attack. They always keep you really close. However, whenever you're doing the bursting, they won't stay in one spot. You'll kind of just get thrown everywhere around the room and you'll have to keep attacking them. So personally, I find it quite annoying, but if you're into doing everything as efficient as possible, bursting or barraging is going to be the best option here. And then for the rates that you could expect if you're being somewhat sweaty, ranges anywhere from 75k to 130k XP per hour in your combat stats, depending where you're at on the melee scale. For the Slayer rates, that can range anywhere from 19k to 35k, again, depending on where you're at on the scale. This is not assuming bursting, because again, most people don't do it, and I don't recommend it because I don't find it enjoyable, but if you're into that, you can definitely get more XP per hour than I have demonstrated here. And now moving on to the inventory and how to get to the different spots. The first location is a Slayer Tower. Personally, I don't kill these as much here, but it is an option. For the inventory, I have a rune pouch for alching your rune drops that you'll be getting, a Slayer ring to get there, an herb sack for all the herbs that you'll be getting, a bunch of house teleports to get out of there, along with a super boosting set and some food as well. Nothing too crazy there on that inventory. In terms of how to get to the Slayer Tower, the best option is going to be the Slayer ring teleport, which you can make if you have 75 crafting and the unlock through the Slayer rewards. The second closest is the fairy ring code CKS. This isn't necessarily the second quickest because you still have to get to another fairy ring, but it is pretty close and accessible down there to the south. Right next to that is the Salve Graveyard teleport that you can cast with 40 magic on the Arceus spellbook, or you can just purchase one of the tablets from the Grand Exchange. The fourth option is the Carl teleport. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, honestly.
Carl? Where's Carl?
But 66 magic and the ancient spellbook has to be unlocked for you to be able to get here, unless you come through someone's house, which you can do. You can just go in there and use one of their teleportation rooms and off you go. And then finally, Faint Constrained Teleport. Much like the Salve Graveyard, if you have the ability for this, I'd say just use the Salve Graveyard Tele, but the Faint Constrained one is also relatively close if for some reason you only have that unlocked. And then the more likely location that I think people will be killing these at will be the Catacombs of Karend. For the inventory here, we have a Super Strength Potion, Super Attack, along with that, Teleports to my house to get away, a Xerix Talisman to get there, along with an Herb Sack and a Rune Pouch. Here I bring a little bit of food just because you might take some damage, and it's kind of nice to have some spare food in case you're a little nervous. I always AFK a little bit, so can't be too safe. In addition to that, you will have to pass some dragons, so it's kind of nice for that. And then a bunch of prayer potions because, again, here I like to use prayer, but you don't necessarily have to. You could bring food if you like. On top of that, a gem bag or a soul bearer would also be pretty cool. I bring those more often whenever I'm using a prayer potion inventory, just because you won't have as many inventory spaces to deal with. Beyond that, as far as how to get to the Catacombs of Karend, you can use the Xerix Heart teleport on the Xerix Talisman. This requires 100% favor in all the houses, along with Architectural Alliance to be completed, so a little bit required there. The second closest is right next to there, and that's the Karend teleport. This requires the incantation, or you could use someone else's POH again. The Xerix Glade teleport can be obtained from Lizardmen after having 5% Shazian favor. And then finally, the Veos boat can be accessed via the Port Sarum dock, and from there you can just run west. It will be a little bit of a hike, but it's not too treacherous. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the locations. The first one I'll be going to just for the melee-based players will be the Morytania Slayer Tower. So go ahead and click the second teleport option there, and you'll be on up here if you have a Slayer ring. Find your way up here one way or another, and the best place to kill them is going to be down below since it's right next to it all. You can only do this on task, so keep that in mind. Once you're down here, just go ahead and run to the northeast a little bit and you'll find yourself some Abyssal Demons. From there, there's really not too much you have to do. Just go ahead and pot up and get into combat with them. As we can see, we got a little buddy up here, but there is more than enough to go around, so you won't have to worry too much about that. These aren't going to auto-retaliate you, so you will have to pay a little bit of attention. Again, that's why I like it going to the Catacombs of Karend, which is the alternative location. Also, whenever you're in the Slayer Tower, you can get boosted Slayer XP if you have the Morytania Diaries completed. Personally, I don't, at least on this account, so laugh at me. But if you do, it ranges anywhere from 2.5% to 10%. So some nice bonus that you can get there. As far as the other location, that is going to be at the Catacombs of Karend, as talked about earlier. The Xerix Heart teleport will take you right there, and from there, just go on down the statue, and from there, we will want to go north. So there's actually a little location that you can kill them at right here. However, there's only one room of them, so it's more competitive. If you wanted to do that, you could just run to the east, to the north, and then you'd be right in there. Personally, I like the other area because there's two locations, so I'm just going to pray mage and just face tank these iron dragons. Should be fine. If you don't want to do that, you can run around up through these greater demons right here and then come around the other side. But here, as you can see, there are two locations, so I won't have to compete with anyone, so I'm just going to throw on Protect Melee. If you're not praying melee, obviously you're just going to have to go one at a time and take it a little easier, but for those that are actually looking to burst or barrage, the best way is to have a free world where no one's on either side. I won't take this guy's Abyssal Demons because that would be rude, but you're going to want to take them all and then pile them in here, and once you have them all piled in here, there you start bursting and just getting absolutely thrown around here. So it's a little annoying because as you just saw right there, they'll move around, then you have to re-aggro or re-attack, and they might move they might move you around. Also, their wander distance is really weird because they're so picky. If you go just like a step too far, they'll hop off you. So if you end up getting thrown too far or something, then you'll have to re-aggro them. It's a mess, honestly. That's why I prefer melee. It's nice, it's simple, it's an easy time. So yeah, that is going to be it for this Slayer guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to see from me, let me know in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you'd like to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day. And I can't do the emote. He's attacking me. Get out. Get out. All right, he's off. He's off. We're clear. We're clear. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day. And damn it. Peace.